Welcome back to day 16 of 30 of my talking to the camera journey. Just realized this morning, yesterday, I passed the halfway mark of making these videos for my 30-day challenge. And wow, does time fly. I'm back out here by the beach here in Cabo San Lucas. I'm here for another few days. And honestly, I came out here with a specific intention of how I wanted to conduct this video. Like I was going to be reading an excerpt or two from a book that's been very profound in my spiritual journey these past few months. But as I was flipping through it, I kept feeling this inner resistance, basically to that of saying, John, stop what you're doing and speak from the heart. You don't need to manufacture this a certain way. You don't need to try and be a perfectionist. I tend to struggle with that for sure. And just speak on what's true. Speak on what is more recent to you and just document. So that's what I decided to do instead. So yesterday I was having a conversation with a really close friend of mine that I've known for pretty much all my life. And the essence of the conversation was around the idea of knowing yourself. I'm sure many have heard that saying before. Maybe they've seen it said as know thyself. But either way, the idea remains true. And genuinely, I was just coming from a place of curiosity to ask questions I'd actually never thought to ask of him before. Mainly from a place of genuine love and care, because in my journey up till now, these were the same type of questions I had asked myself at one point, just around the idea of interests or passions or things that really move you, or when it comes to the vision you have for yourself and what you'd like life to look like, whether that be spiritually, financially, emotionally, relationally. What does that look like? Like what do you stand for? And it got me thinking. I've known this guy my whole life, and I've never thought to ask those questions of him. Now, I don't believe that every little nook and cranny of someone else's life is your business. Like, of course, live your life as you need to, but genuinely from a place of care, I just found myself in a curiosity loop, and I wanted to explore that with him, and he was open to it, and that was the key. And as we were talking, um, I realized a lot of things as far as what was coming up in the conversation as we were exploring it, and realizing that he himself had never asked those particular questions of himself before either. And it made me think of what was it along my life that caused me to pause and eventually ask myself what I wanted, or started to question why I believed the things I did up till that point. And I know that moment for me came in between freshman year of college up until like sophomore year, if you will. I remember I took a class in philosophy, which to me, philosophy up to that point was always this topic of um, ephemeral questions like what's the meaning of life, and uh, what's the essence, the true essence of this rock, and how does it relate to XYZ. I just thought of it as pretty silly, to be honest. But the way in which my instructor at the time was asking us or teaching us to propose questions was the first time I saw a question constructed in a way such that it forced you to pause and really assess where your beliefs came from. And it was that moment in time that kind of broke me mentally, because up until that point, let me see, I was what, 19 years old. All my beliefs around things like religion or money, or how one should interact with a stranger, interact with a friend, or what a real relationship looks like, or what love means, or what marriage means, was all imposed on me, as I realized, from just things I'd seen on the TV, things I'd hear in passing growing up in the house, just being naive, not knowing any better. And it was that thought and belief system that I just kind of carried on through life, subconsciously, automatically, which why the conversation with my friend prompted me to think about this again, as I was realizing, like, there's a lot of people in life that I meet or just hear about in passing that keep that same belief system from when they were younger or on the up and up onward through their entire life. And some people never stop to question it on whether it serves them or not, which is, to me, a very scary thought to think, what would happen had I never been exposed to the concept of questioning yourself, questioning your beliefs, just analyzing things and feeling what's genuinely true? Would I have ever developed a little bit more of individualism in the first place? Would I have ever ended up going down the path I went outside of graduating from college, where I don't use my degree with kinesiology. I don't use it in the sense of making money with it, but absolutely grateful for that experience. But the pivot I chose to make, to go down the path of mastering communication and going into the realm of sales and the world of business, what would life look like otherwise had I never chosen to take a right in my fork in the path moment in time? And for people out there who maybe never thought to analyze their beliefs that they've maybe had forever, their rigid beliefs, what if that is the prison that you've unconsciously created in your life without realizing it, and it's holding you into these thought loops and actions that are keeping you from being the type of person that you actually genuinely want to be, just because you're naturally limiting yourself from getting outside of that box. And I believe it all starts with questions. It all starts with a single question, like, why do I believe the things I believe? Where did they come from? And did those beliefs come from someone who is living a life or leading a life that is remotely aligned with the vision I'm looking to bring into my life? If the answer to those questions is no, then analyze why. Analyze whether it makes sense for you to shift your perspective, or shift whom or what you're consuming information from, so that that quality input now shifts to a quality output in your life naturally. It was a thought very much so worth reflecting on this morning, is, where do your beliefs stem from? And do they serve you, or do they not serve you? And if not, what would you like to do about it? Because we have free will. Our will cannot be taken from us. It's something we were born with. We have the will to choose how we react to things. We have the will to choose how certain environments impact us. And that's what God has blessed us with. So, it was a thought reflection that was weighing heavy on my heart last night and into this morning. If anything, a reminder to, again, while I'm out here, take some time in the quiet. If you have access to get out into nature today, go do so. Take a journal with you or don't. Just sit still, no music in your ears, and be. And check on your people, the people you love. Tell them you love them, and seek to have conversation if they're open to it. See how deep it goes. I'm a lover of deep conversation. It's fun for me, just because you get to explore two minds together and see where you both are coming from. Uh, as a nice way to get to know someone deeper. And yeah, let that be, if anything, let this be a testament to what is possible next. I'm now just rambling, feeling very reflective as I'm just taking in my surroundings, hearing the waves splash to my right. But yeah, this has been day 16 of 30 of my talking to the camera journey. And man, this has been more fun than I ever realized. It's good to soak in the spirit. But yeah, until tomorrow for day 17, we will be live again. Thanks for listening.